Here's how to play mahjong, vita mahjong, aka domino. Vita mahjong is just the Chinese slurring for it because that's where it originated from. Here's my hand. Here's the extras. Now the way to play it, since I don't have any zeros, I would draw from the Lucky Luck pot until I get a zero. Boom, zero. Then I would play it, boom, zero. And then I would play it from there. So we're gonna have this side working, but not the other side. So this is where the fun comes in. You can count the amount of dominoes you have based on the number they have, because there's 8 of each count of dominoes. So there's 8 sixes, and it corresponds equally with the other piece. So let's say there's 8 sixes, right? But one has a 3. That also counts for the 3 8 ones. So yeah. And then look, we gotta think about this. You want to get rid of the doubles as quick as possible because it allows you for more chance to open up for different numbers. And then you leave a least amount pot like so, like that. And look how well this plan was developing so far. Boom, boom. Now that's a 3, I have a 4, and this is my last domino. So I'm making a record right here, I can't even lie. So if I pull out a 3 right now with a 4, that means I automatically win. So we're gonna choose a random one. 4 and a 5, can't do nothing. 2 and 2, still cannot do nothing. 6 and a 4, wish I could, can't. 4 and a 1, nope. 2 and a 5, still can't. 5 and a 3, we can work for that. And then look, strategize is the main point of the game. Because look, you got to think about how you're playing it. Because look, that's 4 out of the amount of 6s. So I can't play it again. So draw again. Boom. Now we have this side. Now, what you may see is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's one more 5 domino remaining. So if I would, the best way to win against another person is closing it off with a 5. So it would look something kind of like this. You'd basically be cutting off any 5s. So that's all the 5s that are gone. Now that's a 2. Boom. 2 right there. I'm working with a 4 and a 1. Here's my vita mahjong so far. 3 and a 0. Nothing. 3 and a 4. Still nothing. That would have been really helpful. 0 and a 4. Nothing. 3 and a 1. Nothing. 2 and a 6. I would put it right here because look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 so far. And then you want to count the 2s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's still some with 2s in there. So we got to do this quickly. Boom, 6 and a 1. So it would have been better for me to do this and this if I was going up against someone, because that's all the 6s gone already. But we didn't do that. We ended up doing this. Still not a good hand. 2 and a 0. Boom. We can work with that. Boom. Okay, and then boom. But we're not going to do that. We're going to do this one first because, like I said, it's a game about thinking and strategy. So we're going to put this one here, but that wouldn't even help me get rid of all of them. So these are the 4 I have remaining. So what you want to do is boom, and then you want to boom, because there's still a 1 in there. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's one more 1 in that pot. So if I pull that 1 with a 4, then I win. But we already used that one, so we got to be smart. Boom. 4 and a 2. Guess where that can go? Right here. Or right here. It would be smart if you were playing against another person like this. That would count as a loss. So I'm not going to do that. What we're going to do is this. So this closes off this section completely. Because look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's all of them. It's all the ones with the 2. And so we're just going to pull all of these out and lose. Because that's why. We'd have lost regardless with the way I played. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you play vita majohong. So the total amount of points starts off with how many I have. So let's count all the dominoes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So in total, there's always going to be 28 dominoes in one pack. Now, you can count dominoes. It's not like poker. It's not illegal, but it is a game of strategy. And see, my score usually is around under 10, because that's how fast I can compete against an AI. But since playing solo is different, you have to really think hard about your strategy. Because once you cut off your corners like this, let's say there's 2 on both sides, it makes it more difficult because you can use 2 on either side and there's still a 2 remaining, which means you're literally making a death trap for the next person. That's how you play domino the right way. So, since I had 5 left over out of the 28, my score would be 28 subtracted by 5, and it's the person with the least amount of points. But if it's competitive against another person and not by yourself, it's the person with the most. But usually in the official game rules, it's whoever has the least amount of points wins. Kind of like golf in a way. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the King Chan, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys enjoyed this little quick game video on how to play the classic game of domino. And you can even use the tin as a little shield cover if you want to cover from enemies and stuff like that. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this little casual chat we had about playing a vita mahjong, aka domino, my friend. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have a great day out there. Stay humble, keep an open mind, wear your seatbelt, don't do drugs unless it's with Snoop Dogg. You know that bit. I'm not gonna say that anymore. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, subscribe, leave a like, share this to your friends so that way they know how to play vita mahjong. And maybe one day you can be a vita mahjong pro. But that's only if you beat me. All right. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, if I don't see your faces again, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Good morning to the motherfuckers waking up right now. Stay safe out there in the real world. And doot doodle loop doot. Doot doot.